Reddit is continuing its very recent trend of banning subreddits that they consider abusive, which is fascinating considering the fact that Ellen Pao has stepped down as the CEO of Reddit, and the original founder or co-founder of Reddit has stepped in as the new CEO. Steve Huffman has basically released new information about what they consider abusive on Reddit and what they plan on banning. So he says that as Reddit has grown, we've seen additional examples of how unfettered free speech can make Reddit a less enjoyable place to visit and can even cause people harm outside of Reddit. So here are the things that they plan on banning. First of all, spam. They're not feeling it. They're going to get rid of that. Anything illegal, i.e. things that are actually illegal, such as copyrighted material, discussing illegal activities, such as drug use, is not illegal. All right.
So you can discuss illegal activities, but you can't engage in it.
Exactly. Publication of someone's private and confidential information. I love that they included that. Anything that incites harm or violence against an individual or group of people, like, I don't know, publication of someone's private and confidential information. Anything that harasses, bullies, or abuses an individual or group of people. These behaviors intimidate others into silence. And also sexually suggestive content featuring minors. Now, I'm very, very interested to see how the Reddit community responds to this. A lot of people felt that Ellen Pao was responsible for banning a lot of subreddits that were considered abusive, but now we have a male CEO stepping in, basically doing the same thing, and a lot of people would basically make the argument that, no, we didn't hate Ellen Pao because she banned the abusive subreddits. We hated her only because of the miscommunication that happened under her leadership. Well, we'll see what happens, okay? By the way, as the Huffington Post reports, some expressed worries about these guidelines and what they might mean for free speech on the platform, which is home to controversial forums like Coontown and Raping Women.
Yeah. Okay, so those both should be fine, I think, okay, believe it or not, because they're only discussing the illegal activity of raping women. They're not actually doing it, right? So now the question is whether it's abusive, right? And so I think these guidelines are indisputable except for one category, right?
Okay.
So you can't do anything illegal. Yeah, no shit. Like, you can't do anything illegal anywhere. So why is the internet? It's not a law-free zone, right? Neither is Reddit. Spam, nobody's interested in spam, right? Come on, guys. Really, you want people's private and confidential information put on the internet? I know some do, like, oh, yeah, I want to be able to see Jennifer Lawrence's tits. Okay, I got it, right? No. But, like, putting out people's addresses
and phone numbers.
And taking stolen pictures of their private moments. You know, even, I don't care how hardcore you are, you know you're wrong, okay? So I don't think that's really much in dispute. Sexually suggestive content featuring minors, really anybody going to argue with that? Nobody's going to argue with that, right? So I think that it comes down to, and inciting harm or violence is also illegal, by the way, right? You can't incite violence against someone else, that's against the law. So again, I don't think that's much of a dispute. So we're left with only the category of anything that harasses, bullies, or abuses an individual or group of people, right? And it says in brackets, these behaviors intimidate others into silence. That's where you're going to have the debate, right? And that's where I'm not positive where I come out on it.
Yeah, honestly, I agree with you on that, because who determines what is and is not considered bullying, right? Because maybe some of the commentary that we have on this show, which could be harsh at times, would be considered bullying by some,
I think
right?
we bullied Bill O'Reilly and Donald Trump today.
Yeah, that's true.
We did bully them, actually.
Mercilessly bully Fox News. We'd be banned on Reddit. No, and of course it's in the application. Right?
Yeah.
And Reddit's a very important site, so it's not just a random story. You know, some people call it the front page of the internet. I mean, that's a little self-serving, but God bless, no problem, right? And we like the site. I think it's really interesting indication of what people online react to, right? And a lot of other sites use Reddit for what's hot. So keep it real. That's why it's important, right? So that's why a conversation on Reddit is important, not just to Reddit, but to the rest of the internet. So, you know it's in the application, but I'd lean against that rule. I'd be reluctant to put that rule in.
But what are they talking about, like on Coontown or raping women? What is the conversation that's being had on there? I mean, is it racist stuff that's being spewed, or is it sexist? If any of you,
Coontown? Really? I don't think there's anything racist on Coontown.
But I'm wondering, like, why are these things even? I mean, obviously free speech, you could talk about it, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, but isn't Reddit it's a private company, isn't it?
It's a private company, so Reddit can do whatever the hell it wants. It's not the government. Free speech only has to do with the government taking action against you for speaking freely. The government can't do that, constitutionally speaking. Reddit can do whatever it wants. So if it doesn't want Coontown or raping women on its forums, then it could take it off. It could get rid of it.
So that's not a question as to whether they can legally do it. Of course they can, right? And Maz brings up a good point, which is like, as a company, do you really want that on your website? And what does that say about you? And I think that's what the company's worried about, right? So now, if you're a free market guy, you actually have to be on Reddit's side because they can do whatever they want. And if it hurts their company and it's going to hurt their bottom line, you kind of have to be on their side, isn't it? Right? So now, but if you care about an open dialogue and that Reddit is an important part of the open dialogue on the internet, I mean, obviously, I couldn't be more offended by Coontown and raping women. And I don't know what's in there, but I'm fairly confident, right?
Yeah.
But I don't care that exists on the internet. You know, I wouldn't want to shut it down. You see, I mean, you know who it is. You know what they're up to, right? Or what they think. Like, it doesn't, I'm not afraid of them in the sense that it's not like Coontown's going to convince people to be racist is better than not to be racist. Right. They're not going to win the battle of ideas.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I wouldn't want them on my site. I'd get them off.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that.
Yeah.
So I think that a company saying, I don't want them on my site is perfectly legitimate. In almost the context of any other website, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. Like, let's pick another big random site, Huffington Post. No, they're not going to have a section called raping women. Of course not. That's ridiculous, right? We're only having the conversation because it's a Reddit, and it's such an open forum. And the success of Reddit and why other websites go to them for interesting stories and the internet's reaction to those stories is because it is an open forum and a wide open forum. So if I'm Reddit, I'd be a little careful about how much I close it. You got to close it a little bit. You can't have the wild, wild west like this, people breaking laws and stuff like that. But in terms of conversations that make us all uncomfortable, but actually exist in the real world, I'd lean towards keeping them.
So I don't know what Reddit's business model is. I don't know how they generate the majority of their revenue. But I think that it's interesting that they started out with, all right, free and open forum, you guys can discuss anything. And now all of a sudden they're kind of buckling down and they're realizing, no, we can't have these types of forums. I feel like advertisers might be at play. I think they're realizing we do have to clean up our act if we want to attract more money to our business.
So Anna's keeping it real there because, you know, I don't know what the financial structure of Reddit is at all. But if they want to make money, advertisers are going to run for the hills if you've got Coontown or the other stuff on your site. I mean, they're going to be freaked out. And so Reddit was bought at one point. I think it's part of the Condé Nast family now. So I'm surprised that for all these years that they were under Condé Nast, that they've had this free reign. Again, I'm in favor of the free reign. Anna's just telling you what might be some of the ramifications of that free reign and why they might be taking this action now.
Free reign means less money.